Are you ready for some great meal ideas? Well, come along with me while we go through this week's What's for Dinner. Great, easy, simple recipes for weeknight meals. Hello, family and friends. I'm Susan, and welcome to my home. And for this week's menu, we're going to have Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, pork carnitas tacos, Instant Pot white chicken chili, and jambalaya. Hey everybody, and it's Monday night, and tonight we're going to be having a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Well, as close to a Chick-fil-A sandwich as I can make here at home. Good, easy, quick meal. That way we can go ahead and keep going with all of our New Year's cleanup. So, let me put this ponytail up and let's get to cooking. And tonight we're going to do some quick, easy Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, or almost Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches. I have got the chicken breast fillets that I got at Aldi's that taste very much like Chick-fil-A's chicken. I've got some pickles to put on it because you know you can't do a Chick-fil-A sandwich without them pickles. I've got some hamburger buns, Duke's mayonnaise of course, and then I got me some chips to go beside. So I'm going to go ahead and get this chicken in the air fryer and get them frying up. And I preheated the air fryer to 400 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 chicken breasts in. And then I'm going to set them for 10 minutes and then I'm going to flip them. It's supposed to be actually 20 minutes in the oven, so about half the time. And I'll bring you back when I flip. Okay, and I went ahead and flipped it, did it 5 more minutes, and now it is ready to eat. And it smells so good. So let me get this put on a sandwich and let me show you what a Chick-fil-A sandwich made at home looks like. Okay, so let's put some mayonnaise on it to begin with. Some Duke's Light. And I do both sides because I like mine nice and mayonnaisey. Go ahead and use my fork to spread it around a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and get a couple slices of pickles put on the bottom. I'm getting them up from the very top so I don't have to dig my fork in because, you know, I've got mayonnaise on it. Alright, now that looks pretty good. Now, let's get the piece of chicken. And you could add ketchup, mustard, whatever you want. I don't have any Chick-fil-A sauce. I wish I did. My husband loves the Chick-fil-A sauce. But for today, we're just going to have some mayonnaise and some Glacier Ranch chips. And here it is. Chick-fil-A sandwich. Little pickle on the bottom. And some chips on the side. And that is what's for dinner Monday night. And it's Tuesday morning. And I am going to put a carnitas pork roast into the crock pot on low. And let it cook all day while I'm at work. I put it in completely frozen, as you can see. Y'all seen me do this many times before. But this is just how I do it. It makes it perfect. You don't need to add any water to it, because whenever the meat actually starts cooking, it will make its own juices, and it'll be perfect. All you have to do is come home from work, shred it up a little bit and let it marinate in its own juices, and then it'll be ready to serve. So, we've got this ready. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on and let this be cooking for about 8+ hours until I get home. So, I'll see you whenever I get home from work. Hey everybody, and it's Tuesday night, and we are going to be having some pork carnitas tacos. If you saw earlier, I put the whole frozen piece of pork carnitas meat into the crock pot and has left it on low all day long. I came home and I have pulled the pork, and now I'm going to make some elote, which is Mexican street corn, off the cob, which is one of our favorite ways to eat it, to go along with those tacos. Trying to get some vegetables in. My New Year's resolution, gotta eat more vegetables. So, my ponytail is already up. Let's get to fixing. And I'm going to put together some quick elote off the corn, which is the Mexican street food corn kind of thing. Some Mexican style corn is what I use. And some of this lime mayonnaise, which is so good. Some adobo and some chili powder. Let's go ahead and get this put together, and it makes a quick, easy side. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pot to heat up. I did drain a little bit of the juice that was in the can off, and I did add a little bit more water to it. I am going to go ahead and put it on to bubble up and cook just a little bit, and then we'll add everything together to make it awesome. And I've heated up the corn really good. It is cooked. Now I'm going to put in all the corn into the bowl, and I've drained off just about all the water in the corn because you don't need it in there. And here's what makes it good. I know it's going to sound really weird, but the Mexican mayonnaise. I get usually about a good spoonful or so. I don't want to put too awful much, but I want to put enough to where you get a little bit of flavor on it. That looks good. Now I'm going to basically mix this into the corn, and it should leave the corn with a little bit of a glaze on it if you get enough on it. See that? See how white that is? That's what you want. All right. Red top adobo. A little sprinkling of that. And then I'm going to add just a dab of chili powder. Some people like a lot, some people like little. I like just a little. And there you go. Give it a taste. A little bit more adobo in it. Not much, just a dab. I think we've got it just about right. You make it to where it tastes really good for you. Some people like more mayonnaise. Some people like more adobo or more chili spice. This is pretty much the way I like it if it's not on the cob. So let's get to layering up our tacos here. Now this is what the carnita meat looks like whenever you've pulled it and you've let it just sit in its juices and absorb all those juices, which is what I have done for probably the last 30 minutes or so. And it is ready to be put in some tacos. Look how good. Oh, it's smelling so good. I wish you could smell it. So let's get it in some tacos. And I'm basically gonna put some taco meat and try not to overstuff them, but you know, that kind of happens sometimes. Look at that. It is basically pulled pork is what it is. But it's got a little spicy kick to it. Okay. Now, put a little bit of our Cholula. Y'all know how we like it. Just a little dab. Green Tabasco. And some medium taco sauce. Okay. Now I'm going to add some Daisy sour cream. I love the squeezable brand. Love the squeezable. It just makes life so much easier. And then some cheese on top. This, of course, is Mexican blend cheese. Y'all know my infinity to Mexican blend cheese. I'm getting it everywhere, but it don't matter. It's all good. Okay. And here we go. Pork carnitas tacos and some elote street corn off the cob. And that's what's for supper Tuesday night. Did you think I was going to leave you out from my plate? Nah. I, of course, do nachos instead of tacos every time we have something like this. Put a bunch of taco shells all around the outside of a bowl like that. And then add the meat. Give me a good little bit there. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of taco sauce, some sour cream, and now I'm going to add some of this corn. Look at that. I hear Danny in there going to town on this corn. I better save him some. He loves it. Lastly, I'm going to put some cheese on top of it. Now, I've got some pork carnitas nachos with elote. And I know it's good because I eat it all the time. And here we go. What's for supper Tuesday night? Hey everybody, and it's Wednesday night, and it's time for a good big pot of chili. It's raining outside. It's not been too cold, but it's just yucky. And tonight we're going to make some Instant Pot killer white chili. I saw it on Mandy in the Making, and I thought I have to try that. So we're going to see how we like it. My ponytail is already up. Let's get to cooking. And tonight I'm going to make some Instant Pot killer white chili. We're going to need some butter, some onions and celery, some garlic powder, 2 chicken bouillons, some cumin, paprika, oregano, a can of rotel. I've got a can of navy beans, 2 cans of corn, a jar of salsa verde. I've got 2 pounds of chicken thighs cut up, and a little bit of cornstarch. So let's get started making some killer chili. And I turned the Instant Pot on saute and waited till it said hot, and there it is. And I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons of butter. And now the butter has melted. I'm going to go ahead and add in the 1 cup of onions and the ½ cup of celery. It calls for a whole cup. Danny and I are not, we don't like celery that good. But, you know, we can make a half a cup work. So I'm going to go ahead and saute that real quick. And then add some more stuff. Okay, and that's about sauteed, so let me go ahead and start adding it in. Garlic powder, 1 tablespoon. Yep. Cumin, 1 tablespoon. One and a half teaspoons of paprika. 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. And y'all know that's what I grew in the garden oregano. Teaspoon of pepper. It calls for white pepper, but I don't have white pepper. So a teaspoon of regular pepper. 5 cups of water. 2 cubes of chicken bouillon. I'm putting in 1 can of navy beans. It calls for a pound of dried navy beans that have been soaked. I'm just putting in a can. It'll be fine. I hope. It should be fine. My 2 pounds of chicken breast are going in. I'm going to wash my hands real good. And 2 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of salt. And 8 ounces of cream cheese. I forgot to put that in the roundup a minute ago, but we got 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I have already just cut them up. That way they can go in here. Alright, there's the cream cheese. I've got the 2 cans of corn going in that have been drained, and it's whole kernel, not cream style. The 1 jar of salsa verde. And 1 can of rotel, which I about hit it. There we go. Now, I'm going to stir this around real quick. And I'm going to put it on soup for 12 minutes. So, put the lid on. Get it to closed. And I'm gonna get it down here and get it on soup, which I've got to turn it off. Soup broth right there, and I want it for 12 minutes. All right, and it is on soup and 12 minutes, and it's on. We'll let this cook for 12 minutes, let it release, and then we'll come back and see what we've got. I've released the pressure, and I put it on saute real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and add in cornstarch. I've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water to thicken it up. And I've actually got it on saute right now. And I'm going to turn that off real quick. And then I'm going to let it sit here for a minute and thicken up. Reading the recipe, I think I put the cream cheese in a little too early. That's okay. It'll all be good. So it's going to sit here and just saute for a minute, and then we'll get it out and dish it out. And I've let this simmer for just a few minutes on saute, and it's time to get some in the plate. And here's the Instant Pot Killer White Chili. I'm going to go ahead and put some cheese on it so it can look really good and taste really good. And there you go. Instant Pot Killer White Chili. That's what's for supper tonight. Hey everybody, and it's Thursday night. Time for some jambalaya. A quick, easy meal that'll fill you up. Add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it turns out so good. So, my ponytail is up. Let me show you how I make jambalaya. And we're going to have a quick, easy meal tonight, some jambalaya. I've got some chicken that have boiled, and I'm about to shred up and put in the pot. And the pot's ready. And, of course, some Polska kielbasa that I'm going to cut up. I've got 3½ cups of water to put in with the rice. And the last 5-10 minutes, you put in some kidney beans. So, let me go ahead and get this started and get the jambalaya put together. The first thing I am going to do is pour the rice in. You can add onions, you can add bell peppers, you could add celery to this. I mean, you could add all kinds of stuff. I have added shrimp to it before. I'm going to go ahead and put the jambalaya packet in. And this is just Zatarain's. I also really like the Aldi brand. It's very good also. My 3½ cups of water going in. And it's kind of hot. Let me turn that down a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken. I'm just basically shredding the chicken and getting it in there real quick. Some smaller pieces. This is what you call a quick, easy meal because you just put it together. Boiling the chicken is the hardest thing. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the jambalaya. And as you can see, I'm just trimming them. I like to trim them a little odd just because. And I'm not needing to brown them in any shape, form, or fashion. They're just going to boil in the sauce and get nice and tasty. And this is one whole thing of Polska kielbasa. And Buddy is at my feet wanting me to drop some so bad. It is so funny. Baby, honey, I ain't going to drop none. You ain't going to get none of this. It's a little too spicy for you. Let me get this last piece of chicken finished up because it was a little bit hot. All right. Now we've got everything in the pot. I need to turn this down to a simmer and let it simmer for about 25 minutes. So let me go ahead and turn it down to low, put a lid on it, and then I'll come back in 25 minutes and show you where we are. I'm going to go ahead and add in the can of kidney beans. I've rinsed them, put a little bit more water in it because it needed a little bit more water. It got a little dry. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this around in here. And I'm going to cover this up and let this cook for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat some jambalaya. Okay, and I've let it sit in there for about 10 minutes. That's enough to get the beans done. because I don't like them mushy. I'd rather them have a little bit of something to them. And all this nice Polska kielbasa. Let me go ahead and plate this up, and I'll show you what it looks like. And here it is. Look at all that Polska kielbasa and those big pieces of chicken and the beans and the rice. It is so good and so simple to make. I do have a video on this if you'd like to go watch the complete process, which I pretty much gave you most of it. And of course, like I said, you can add lots of things to this. You can add onions, and you can add celery, or you could add bell peppers, you know, but we like it pretty straightforward. Occasionally I'll add shrimp to it, but whenever it's a weeknight, it's quick, easy, and simple. And this is what's for dinner Thursday night. I hope you've enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. 4 quick, easy meals to make your menu planning a little bit easier during the week. So, come back again next week for 4 more easy and great meal ideas. And until next week, have a great week. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Pinterest and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.